We are here with Mr. Dan Iordachescu. Do I pronounce it correct?
Yes, Iordachescu is very well.
You are the first Romanian winner in the international vocal competition in s-Hertogenbosch in the Netherlands. After you came many Romanians, but you were the first winner in 1963.
With 4 prizes.
Oh.
Was the big prize for the best vocalist in the competition, after the prize for baritons, the prize for opera, and the prize for the public.
That's a lot.
This is a record.
And you still remember it so long ago. So was it, you did many competitions in that time, I think.
Yes, of course, yes, it was a very, very
difficult.
Competitive.
And difficult also, no?
And difficult, very difficult, because there were a lot of good singers from everywhere, especially from Germany, from Poland. From Poland, there were very good singers. And also, I was the only one to be from Romania. I think were 2 Russians. In any case, was a big competitions, and was the jubileum from 10 years when the competition started. 10 years, jubileum from 10 years. You see here in the diploma. I took this from
the walls.
From the wall, so it's not so.
Nu mai mișca, don't move it, da? Lasă așa să o filmez.
Beautiful. You kept it all those years. Dan Iordachescu, eerste prijs, bassen baritons, beste vocalist van het concours. That's Dutch, written in Dutch. And the whole jury is there. Let me see who is in the jury. Manus Wilmsen, Frans van Amersfoort, Annie de Lory, Lode de Vos, Keith Faulkner, Frans Vroons, Iordachescu, Janine Michaud,
Janine Michaud was in the jury.
Domenico Messina, I've never heard of him. Elizabeth Hungen, yeah, the famous German soprano. Ilse Holbeek, yes. The jury.
Such a jury.
Yes, amazing. Beautiful.
You know, last year I received a letter from Holland, and many years before also a lot of letters from Holland, from the people, from the public who was in the competition, where this public was in the competition, and they remained attached to me, and I was very surprised from where they have the address, and is very sensitive. For I am very emotional, and all the time that make me a big emotion and a big pleasure to know that I remain here. The concours passed, but my sing and my interpretations there, and my attachment to the public, because I said all the time, I sing for the God, for the composer, and for the public. These are the Trinity, the 3, God, composer, and public. Emotionally, I am impressed from the souvenir, from the remembrances, from from Hertogenbosch.
What do you remember about the competition?
Tu-ți aduci aminte de competiție?
How did you get there? Did they fly? Did they go by train?
Cum ai mers cu avionul, cu trenul? Deci detalii de-astea comune.
In that time I used
The train.
more the train. And I was with the train, and of course I was a little tired. But fortunately, I had 2 days before the first etap, for the first
Phase.
yeah, and so I was reposed when I started, and from the beginning, the public was with applause. Very big applause and very, very attached to my sing and to my interpretation. I remained in the final with baritone from France.
In Den Bosch, the practice was to host the people with the local families. Did he also?
Și la tine v-a cazat la familii sau la hotel?
No, la hotel.
At the hotel.
I was in hotel.
So there were more money at that time.
No.
The contest.
There was. You had people coming from Western countries in that time and from communist countries. Came also many candidates. We were very popular. And they were always make good prizes there because strong singers from Romania also. But some of these countries don't want in that time that their singers stay private. They want to keep them.
No, that was not a condition.
No, just a question. We do not know this. I am too young.
But I'm telling you, there were also more money in Romania during the communists for the artists than today.
Yes,
this is
that's
the
right.
question.
That's right.
So and how?
And
the state was paying. Our state.
I remember very well. Who impressed very, very much was Andrea Chenier, the heir from Giordano. Andrea Chenier Gerard. Area was big applauses, big and long applause ovations.
You brought down the house.
Especially the flea song of Modest Mussorgsky. With this, I think, with this, nobody was able to make a competition. And after I received, as you have seen, I received the best vocalist of the concours, of the Wettbewerb in Hertogenbosch.
And what did it mean for your career?
Ce însemna pentru cariera ta acest premiu?
I can say very much. This was in 1963. But before were very many prizes, and very important was the big prize of Mozart in Salzburg, jubileum 200 years from the nascere, from the
Mozart's
birthday.
And when did it happen? When was this competition?
This was in 1956.
56.
In 1956, I took also the prize, Schumann Prize, in Berlin and Zwickau. In 1996, I took also the big prize and the prize Modest Mussorgsky in Geneva. in 1956 was a fabulous year for me, and for this reason I was in the 4th year of the conservatory in Bucharest, and for this reason they gave me the engagement in 1960 after these 3 competitions. They gave me without audition, was unique, was singular, unique in that time. No audition, I was engaged, I was as prim soloist, first soloist in the opera, and I made my debut with Figaro in the Figaro's Hochzeit from Mozart, and immediately after, 1 week after, I made the second debut with Germont in La Traviata di Giuseppe Verdi. So it was a fabulous year, but this competition in s-Hertogenbosch was very, very no useful. That was very dear for my heart, because nowhere I found such a public, such a enthusiastic public, who stayed many, many minutes up and applauded and cried, and was really something who touched me very, very much, and had the importance also in the artistical career, because afterward I was invited also in Holland, and I sang with Cora Kannemeyer, was a big mezzo-soprano. We sang together Carmen.
Of course, that was her big role.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Cora Kannemeyer, she was Carmen. After I had concerts in Den Haag, in La Haye, Haga, in Den Haag, and I had concert again in s-Hertogenbosch. The implication, they were not only for Holland, but I was immediately invited to sing many, many concerts in Germany. I sang in Germany many concerts. For example, in that time there were 2 Germany, East Germany and West Germany. And I sang in Dresden many, many times with fantastic
Conductor.
Press review, fantastic press critics. And all they mentioned that I was the first prize and the best vocalist in s-Hertogenbosch in Holland in 1963. But after 1963, there were a lot of invitations who was connected with this prize. And this impressed me very, very, very much till 1965, 65, when I was invited for the contest in Bruxelles, La Reine Elizabeth contest, also big, who I took the first prize for the prize Bruxelles prize for the best men singers. And a colleague of mine from the opera, Marina Krilovich, she took the big prize for all the contest. There were two Romanians all the time invited after to sing everywhere in Belgium, in Bruxelles,
That's how it
in
goes.
Ostende, in Flamand.
In Flamand,
Ostende and in many Liège, and so in Liège I sang Traviata with big, fantastic success.
And how did your career how did your career evolve? What are the most important points in your career for you?
Not the term, but the supreme, the extraordinary situation was when I was invited in La Scala di Milano by Riccardo Muti Chailly, le directeur général, sovrintendente della Scala, to sing I Puritani, Bellini. And so this was, of course, a fantastic moment for my career, but after came a lot of invitations, this Scala. And I sang in Italy 31 times, and for these 31 times were three first auditions, opera auditions in the world. I sang for the first time with my colleague Italians or Germans or Americans. I sang, for example, Roma Capomoni, I sang alone. Nino Rota, who was a big composer. Yes, right. And I sang also Lodovico Rocca in prima audizione mondiale, Lodovico Rocca, Monte Ivnor.
Monte Ivnor, of course. You created it. Amazing.
And I sang also Don Quixote in Italian, Don Quixote in Spanish, Don Quixote from Vito Frazzi, also in first audition. Were a lot of big situations when I sang Giulio Cesare. I sang in Rome. I sang the Ottava Sinfonia from Mahler, the eighth symphony of Gustav Mahler, also in Rome, with the direction. This was Lorin Maazel who conducted Julius Cesare, but this was conducted by the famous French Georges Pretre, famous conductor, international conductor, but from France. So a lot of things came after Hertogenbosch. Hertogenbosch was for me a big point in my musical life, a big moment. Turning point.
We do not wish to take more credit here than we deserve, since Mr. Iordachescu has been winning competitions since 1956, the year when he won his first three big compositions. Those are also the ones that started his career, also his international career. By 1960 we can see him performing with the likes of Franco Corelli in Italy and many other singers and venues. So when he arrived to Den Bosch, he was already a well-established singer on his way to an international career in major houses.
turning point were the three competitions in '56. One after I was invited everywhere. I took also the first prize. I took also the first prize in 1961 in the international first international for Gesang für singing. George Ionescu Festival in Bucharest in 1961.
Are there any roles that you... were you more an opera baritone, or were you more a leader singer?
This is the problem. And this was really a very, very, very important thing in my life, because I sang together with the best feeling, the best feelings, and the wonderful head concentration and memories. I sang opera, I sang cameral lieder, I sang vocal symphonic works, I sang oratorio, and I sang also canzonette concerts in Italy, in Assisi, in Firenze. I sang Romanian music, popular stylized. I sang in all, and also my start in the career was in theater, in the dramatical theater, because 1.5 years I was student in the faculty of dramatic for actors. So I was prepared to be an actor. After the singing took the prize of the actory, but they actually influenced very much my singing and my competition on the stage. And that was remarked everywhere, in all the critics, everywhere, even in Holland, were remarked the fact that I am also a very, very good singer, but also a very, very good actor. And the Americans, they wrote in Seattle and San Francisco, they wrote, finally came a baritone who is one of the best baritons in the world today, as well one of the best actors of the opera.
Because you also sang in America, right?
I have all these critics here.
Where did you sing in the United States, in America? What place?
In America, I sang in Seattle, in Los Angeles. I sang very much. I sang also La Favorita in Dallas with Shirley Verrett, and Nicola Rescigno conducted.
And
pardon?
The Raimondi.
Ruggero Raimondi sang also, was in the cast. Was in the cast with Shirley Verrett and me also as the king, Il Re. I sang also in Carnegie Hall, a concert of leader of George Ionescu sur des vers sur de Clément Marot. I sang when Lucia Albanese, I forgot to bring the autograph, Lucia Albanese, who was one of the preferred, the most preferred, most liked soprano of the fabulous Arturo Toscanini, who came, embraced me on the stage and wrote me, "Bravissimo maestro," after this concert in Carnegie Hall.
That's fantastic. Toscanin.
And after I sang in 61 countries in the world, in 5 continents, in 87 metropole. Because if I sang in Washington, was the main city, I sang also in New York, was metropole. I sang also in San Francisco, was metropole, in Los Angeles. When I sang in Moscow many times, also in Bolshoi Theater, Il Trovatore, La Traviata, Verdi. When I sang also in St. Petersburg. In that time was Leningrad. When I sang in Italy, in Rome, many times in Rome, I sang also in Metropole, in Milano.
Or in Florence.
Pardon?
Some Florenza.
Or in Florence.
Fantastic.
Florence, I sang many times with Riccardo Muti, Agnese di Hohenstaufen, 200 years from the birthday.
Era premieră la Agnese di Hohenstaufen,
Agnese di
a premiere after 20 or 40 years of not singing that opera.
No,
Agnese.
40 years, not
40
singing.
years. Agnese di Hohenstaufen by Spontini.
Spontini. By
I know the
Spontini.
opera very well.
Yeah? Oh, si home.
Because in
4 acts.
And it was the jubileum of 200 years from the Nascita, from the burning
Birthday of Spontini.
Spontini's birthday.
Spontini.
Amazing.
Was celebrated.
What were your most important roles? The most important parts that you've sung?
It's very good. The big successes I had with 3 operas. The big success with the most fabulous critics was La Traviata, was Don Giovanni, Mozart, La Traviata, Giuseppe Verdi, Wolfgang Amadeus, who was liked, who was amato, Amadeus, who was
loved by God.
By God, Amadeus, Mozart, and I sang, this is a surprise, but the best critics in all the competitions I sang. And I sang 1,075 in all my life competitions, in performance on the stage or concerts, performances of opera on the stage, 1,075. The most fabulous critics I had with Otello, the Iago, Otello Verdi. Nowhere I had such critics, press critics, and ovations like in Iago, Otello. To say the truth, this is not so convenient for me because Iago is a bad personage, but I wanted to show to the people, to the public, that finally what is bad in a man be killed in this man, and must be very carefully everywhere on the bad people to take care of the bad intentions, because for me Iago was very much attached to Desdemona, and he made everything to destroy the union of Othello with Desdemona, everything, till Othello made the crime. He killed Desdemona in her bed after her prayer for God. Yes, but so wanted the God. I sang for good God, for the public, and for the composers, and for the public. And so was the God that I had the best critics to show for everybody what is bad in this world, but what is very important in my life that I had with my wife, Irina Bora. I had 3 girls, and from these 3 girls, one is fabulous, who took also prizes in s-Hertogenbosch.
Oh yeah, that was the
This
third
is
question.
Irina Iordachescu. But so, the mezzo-soprano who is the oldest one, 48 years, is a wonderful mezzo-soprano.
Fabulous voice.
Fabulous. The voice is absolutely fabulous, and the high register is so full to them. 3 concerts audiences, or 3 opera audience is very good. But he was not so. He was introverted. He's not so attached. They proposed her Carmen. She didn't want to make so. Opera is so. I cannot. You cannot have the discussions with regisseur. But who was the most important in this life, in my life, as Urmash,
As a follower.
as follower, was Irina. Irina, who is a soprano lirico leggero, who sang Traviata in a fabulous direction. She is...
And Bohema also.
And Bohema.
What I mean.
Yeah, now she took also the repertory. She took the repertory of lyrical soprano. She sang in La Scala, of course, she sang in La Scala, but she could sing everywhere in the world, in the metropolitan, everywhere, in France, in Covent Garden. She sang in Glyndebourne Festival with big success. She sang music in Bohème, in La Bohème.
Great.
So for me, this is a big happiness and honor to have such daughters. The third in the middle, Raluca, was who is now in the United States of America, in Los Angeles. She was a very good movie actress.
A movie actress.
She made 3
When
movies.
she was a teenager.
The two last questions. The one is, how did you find your love for opera music, for music in general? How did you find your love for singing as a child?
I heard the music on our Philips old radio from the 5 years old, and I was so impressed by the music that hours I stayed there till my mother and my father, they came and they said, you must also learn, you must also, I stayed very impressed. But the first time when I sang when I was 15 years old, when I was 15 years old, in my little dorf, what is
Gentlemen.
commune,
Village.
in the little village of Hlibiceni, I was procreated, and there was all my
Childhood.
all my childhood in Hlibiceni. And after I moved to Iași, and in Iași, as I said, my first performances was with le médecin malgré lui, docteur sans médecin de Molière, in 1948, on the big scene of the National Theatre I have also is living one of my partners, Tatiana Jekyll, was one Doika, who was my partner. I was gerund in the so I started with the theater, but this was very, very important. After 1 year, when I started to sing operette, I sang for the first time operette in CCS theater in Bucharest. I was engaged there, a soloist, and after in '56, when I was in the opera and engaged in the Romanian opera, and there were a lot of baritons in that time, but singing as I sang and acting as I acted was the fact who promoted me very, very rapidly.
And the last question I wanted to ask, you are one of the singers of maybe the golden generation of Romanian singers.
Yes, you're right.
Which is for a long time, yeah, it's amazing how many singers come from Romania. What is the secret of this tradition of Romanian?
In my time was the gold generation. Also for the sopranos, also for
both for sopranos
the
and
baritons.
baritons.
Also tenors were very, very
Excuse
good tenors.
me, you know, there was a joke. The Romanian National Opera, it was called TOB, Teatro Opera Ballet. And they were joking, no, at his time it's theater of opera
And
And
baritons.
baritons. There were so many baritons.
But what was the secret of this?
Care era secretul?
I think it's genetical.
The secret is the fact that we were born in a country who had a very big appreciation, a very big love for music,
For
and
all
for
the
the
music.
artists, for all the music and for the
arts.
artists.
And for arts.
And this public was all the time encouraged.
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 Our personality was made so, but this public who all the time wanted more and more, and we worked more and more to satisfy what the public wanted from us. We worked very much. As my daughter Irina Iordachescu, she worked incredible. She worked all the time in the morning, in the night, in the afternoon, all the time when she had 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours free, she worked to perfection her voice, to perfection her interpretation. And
there is also a passion and a gift.
I was born in 1930. And this year,
So on the 2nd of June.
on the 2nd of
Yeah.
June,
That was the communion.
in the opera, they
They
celebrated
him.
my 84 years they celebrated with my daughters were singing, and after me who spoke some words about my career and my life in music. But my daughters, Irina Iordachescu and Cristina Iordachescu Iordache, she is married with a big writer. They sang incredible was. I had many times from my eyes tears from my eyes. My last concert was 4 years before in 2010. In 2010, when I sang,
On
the
the
public
stage.
was in the big audience of Atheneum,
Romanian Atheneum.
Romanian Atheneum. I sang there
His
with
last
a
concert.
completely full.
At 80 years old.
I complained in that time 80 years old. After I sang 2 times in the opera, 4 Oscar prizes, Romanian Oscar prizes they gave me, Romanian Oscar prize.
Mr. Iordachescu, I think I don't want to make you too tired, and I have to do some promotion for your daughter. I thank you very much for giving us the interview and to bring back those memories of the vocal competition in Den Bosch, but also of your career and the Romanian musical culture, which is very dear to me personally.